next one here, angular gyrus, that's for reading comprehension area, to understand reading. So that's angular gyrus. In the inferior frontal gyrus, just at the first portion of it here, is the speech motor area, or the motor speech area. So this guy here was the sensory speech area, the supramarginal gyrus. This area here is the motor speech area, also known as the Broca's area, involved in producing speech, both in spoken or written. Okay, damage to Broca's means you cannot express yourself. You can say words, but you can't form sentences from those words. Okay, damage to Broca's and Wernicke's is called aphasia. Now there is another cortical functional area here, somewhere along the middle of the superior temporal gyrus, the primary auditory area. So where hearing takes place, the primary auditory area. And again, there's going to be some association areas associated with that. Every primary has some association area with it. So primary auditory area. Then if you take this lateral fissure and lift it off, somewhere in that back is, like so, is the primary gustatory area for sense of taste. Okay, when you taste something, primary gustatory area, primary auditory area, primary gustatory area. Then the primary olfactory for sense of smell is, we can't see it here, we have to take cross section and I'll show you. And same for the primary visual area. So this here is the view of the brain, the same brain we saw in previous. Here we will just cut it in half in a sagittal section, so seeing like this, so there would be the cerebellum here again, and the medulla, and like that. Okay, so here is your brain. There is your temporal lobe, you can see it, the frontal lobe here, the frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe is all of this, separated from parietal lobe by the parietal occipital sulcus. There's your calcarine sulcus, separating the occipital lobe into two. And the primary visual area is on two sides of the calcarine sulcus. And then there are the association areas on more to the sides. So immediately to the side of the calcarine sulcus is the primary visual area. The temporal lobe coming here, at the tip of it, in this area, is called the uncus. A-N-C-U-S. That is your primary olfactory area for sense of smell. And then here is just above the corpus callosum. We'll talk about these later, this area later. Immediately around the corpus callosum, which is this area here, this guy, this is called the cingulate gyrus, mainly for sensation of pain. So the cingulate gyrus. Then, so there's your parietal occipital sulcus, parietal lobe, frontal lobe. The central sulcus is here. It doesn't go all the way down like it did on the other side, just a little bit. And there would be precentral sulcus also not going all the way down, just a little bit, and postcentral sulcus. Okay, but together this whole area is not called the precentral gyrus, postcentral gyrus. It's called the paracentral lobule. The entire thing here, paracentral lobule. And here, running just behind the uncus, is called the parahippocampal gyrus. So this area, I'll make it very dark. So that's your parahippocampal gyrus. And that is part of the hippocampus, which is involved in memory.